guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm standing under a car. We are currently standing under the STI. There's Mike. He's investigating the situation. You probably wonder what we're doing. Well, today we are installing a surge tank. If you track a Subaru, you know that with the stock-ish fuel system, I mean, my fuel system is not stock by any means. Sorry for the poor lighting. I'll let Mike explain why we're doing this. Go ahead, Mike.
On right-hand turns, the fuel pickup over here gets stopped because all the gas goes over there. Yeah. So long right sweepers, you tend to run out of gas.
Yeah, so
and it's definitely a problem with this car.
Yeah, so if you've watched previous videos, you will know that the fuel system on this car is extremely built. I believe I have 2000 cc injectors on this car currently. So we did try and race it at an event a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago.
2 months ago.
I guess that was 2 months ago. And we did get fuel cut. So with the Link ECU, it is tuned to shut off if it loses fuel pressure whatsoever. So we are remedying that situation now. Alright guys, a little update. As you can see, the entire interior of the STI, well, not the front, is pulled apart. We are deciding to run the fuel lines similar to the factory fuel lines. That's what these are here. We are going to run them inside the car. So that's what we're working on now. So just feeding the fuel lines through. And then Mike has removed some of the sound deadening. Don't mind this mess. And we have a couple relays wired in for certain things, ethanol sensor, and then 2 relays for fuel pumps, I believe. So just have to clean this up, but it's all wired. As you can see, we are running, excuse my fingers, the fuel lines through. There is a little bit, it's too dark, but there's a hole right back here. You can't really see my hand, but right over here where we're going to be running them. And then they'll just come right out by the fuel pressure regulator here. So just doing that now, and then we'll start hooking everything up. So they'll just kind of pop out right underneath the brake booster there. Alright guys, wanted to give you a little update. Mike and I are now running the fuel lines. We have them run through the firewall. I wanted to show you how we did this. So it's kind of hard to see, but we did drill 2 holes through the firewall. Silicone 2 grommets in there, the same sizes of the hose. The outer one closest to the gas pedal is an 8 AN fitting, and the one closer to the inside or the door is a 6. So I believe one's a return and one's a feed. So now we're just getting them all routed. Alright guys, little update. So as you can see, you really can't see the fuel lines. They're gonna run right about there. So we did get the carpet all put back in. So now we are doing some reading on how we should connect everything. As you see here, this is the -6 line, and then the -8 line is over there. We're going to be moving the fuel filter there into the trunk. So that line is going to hook into that line there, and then this line is going to hook into this ethanol content sensor here. So making progress. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Mike and I had a little bit more time to work on this. We did get the connectors on, so that one's there. That's there. Mike did get this handy dandy connector because my fuel line's on that side where we're going to be wiring it for the fuel filter is -6, and this line is -8. So this little thing just reduces it from -8 to -6. So we'll get that installed. We'll finish getting all of this hooked up, and then we'll do the fun stuff in the trunk, and then we'll be done. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and then if you ever want to make more power, you obviously could go to an 8 to an 8 in here, and then we'll just have to redo the
fuel lines.
The fuel lines on the engine side.
So exciting stuff, as I like to say.
Okay.
Alright guys, so it's been a couple days since the last clip that we filmed. We had a heck of a time ordering the parts that we needed, but finally get them. So these are what are called riv nuts, I guess. I've never used these before, but Mike showed me an example. I'm not sure what he did with it. Babe, where did you put that example of what you made? Basically, these are going to put holes in the car that are threaded that we can mount the fuel pump to. So that's what we're going to install now, but it's kind of cool. It just presses in, uses this crazy tool over here. So that's what we're doing now. We have a template here of what we are going to do in the trunk. So we just lowered the STI. We are going to move it forward a bit on the lift so we can get in the trunk, and you'll see what we're going to do next. Okay, so while Mike is getting the trunk figured out, I cut his little template out a little bit more, and I'm taking some of this toolbox liner and I cut it out, and now I'm actually going to cut it to shape. We're going to use this to separate the surge tank from the trunk, just so that way it doesn't rub. And like I said, all it is toolbox drawer liner. So anyway, we just thought that was a good idea to put a little spacer in there. Also, this will act as a buffer so it's not noisy. So I don't know, thought that was a good idea. As you can see, our garage is pretty messy. Don't judge. Alright, so a little update. Don't mind all that. That's rust from the spare tire. The car actually is not rusty. Anyway, this is where we're going to put the surge tank. So we did tape the template down. Mike is about to drill the holes so we can put those riv nuts in. As you can see, all the fuel lines are ran. We didn't want to finish them until we had this mounted. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, no turning back. Mike is now going to be drilling the holes in the trunk. So I believe he's using a 3/8 drill bit.
Eventually.
Alright, so now Mike's going to go through with a 3/8 drill bit and drill the holes. Alright guys, so that was successful. As you can see, there's holes in the trunk. So now we're going to go through. Mike went through on the bottom and kind of filed everything. We did test fit the inserts just to make sure they did fit. And now we're going to paint this just so it doesn't rust. And we'll probably paint the trunk on this sometime, but it's kind of scratched up, so I'm not really sure. So, I don't know. Anyway, this is just to seal the holes. Okay, little update. So, as you can see, we did paint that little area. So, for the trunk, eventually, I have to clean this little rust spot up, but like I said, it's not rust from the trunk, it's rust from the spare tire. I don't believe we're going to be putting the spare tire back in here. This little tank here is an intercooler sprayer, but I actually use it for my windshield washer fluid because there's no room under the hood, so that will stay. But Mike was talking about maybe making me a carbon fiber floor pan. So, as some of you know, he's intrigued with making things out of carbon fiber. So, I'll be interested to see what he does with that. But, it is a little bit worn back here, so I would like to cover it up. But we did paint it enough so that way if it sticks out around the carpet or whatever, hopefully it doesn't look too bad. So just waiting for this to dry, and then we'll get everything installed for the riv nuts and then the surge tank hopefully, and then finish routing the fuel lines. I can't decide if we're going to put my fuel filter back here or not. And then I think we have to drill a hole in this cover plate.
Nope.
No? Oh, that one.
Yep.
Okay. And then we also have to install a different fuel pump hanger with a Walboro fuel pump. Right now there's 2 Walboros installed in there, right?
2 450s.
2 450s. So we have to uninstall that, install a stock fuel hanger with a Walboro pump.
255.
255. And then we'll put one of our other pumps in the surge tank and then have a backup just in case. So this has been way more of a project than I think Mike or I thought. So I thought we would have been done days ago, but it's been fun. Got to make a little custom bracket insert thing for under the surge tank and got to learn about riv nuts and buy some new tools. So I don't know, this is part of the fun. So this is a riv nut gun. So those little things I showed you earlier get screwed in, and then you press them in like this. So you press them and then you turn, and then you press them, and then you make sure they're straight, and then you unscrew. There it goes, sorry, it's a little dark. And then it leaves you with these lovely little threaded holes in your chassis. So then you can install a surge tank. So this is one thing that we had trouble getting. We ordered them, I don't know, 3 different ways, and we never received them until we ordered them, I don't know, yesterday. But they are black riv nuts, so Mike wanted it to look real classy. So he got black riv nuts. Last one. I did one, but the angle's kind of funny, and you need a lot of leverage, so I let Mike do them all. But this will be a handy tool to have for the future. So if you don't have one of these, I think you should get one. I don't know, it's kind of cool. So as you can see, you press, and it just slowly pushes it in the chassis. So I don't know, it's kind of cool. Alright guys, so we did a little test fit and we did confirm that we got the holes in the right spot. So now we're going to install this. So we did put this little spacer thing I made on there. All the tape is just holding the hardware in. So we're going to install it and then I'll update you in just a second.
Alright, so we got the surge tank all mounted up. If I'm transparent, this is what I was most nervous about because not a ton of wiggle room for getting it wrong, but yeah, we got it mounted in all 6 locations. I did have to put a couple spacers here in the front, as this part of the trunk floor sits a little lower than the frame rail supports over there. But yeah, you can shake the whole car with the surge tank now, so I'd say it's mounted pretty sturdy, I guess I mean, and it's got a nice little foam insulator, so it's not gonna, transfer all of that vibration. So now we'll go ahead and temporarily mount the lid on so that we can start building the lines. Our dash 6 will terminate on the top. Our dash 8 will go into our fuel filter that we're gonna move in front. And then we've got to run 2 dash 6s from the stock hanger to the top hat. So Allie mentioned a couple holes. We'll probably flip this around, do the 2 holes with grommets on that side, and then all that's left is to wire it up. So not too much further to go, but the thing I was most nervous about is complete. So
let's go. This has been fun. Exciting. Exciting stuff, as Allie likes to say.
Stay tuned, as Allie likes to say.
Alright guys, so my heart's a little broken. So
no, it's not. You hated that car.
No, I didn't. Okay, so Mike and I were working on the STI. This will be included in our current video we're working on. But we got a text. We listed the Mini for sale a week and a half ago.
Like 3?
No, it was like 2 weeks. Anyway.
3, because I was going to buy an M3, but okay.
Okay, so anyway, long story long, Mike didn't expect to get all the parts he needed for the BMWs with buying that white BMW. So anyway, the M3 is now registered, passed emissions, the E30 is ready to be swapped, the STI is well on its way, so we decided to list the Mini for sale. I know, lots of our fans are going to be bummed because we were going to K24 swap that car. I still want to, but I like money more. And we have 6 cars between the 2 of us. So we decided to list it for sale. Well, we just sold it. I'm a little bummed. But Mike said I can get CE28Ns for my car. And if any of you actually know me, which many of you don't, I used to have CE28Ns on my very first Subaru. So, like, this has a special place in my heart. I can't even explain it. So I don't know if we're going down that path, but now we're going home to finish working on the STI. But anyway, the Mini's gone. We're down to 5 cars. 5. So we have the E30, E36 M3, the STI, the Audi Q7 that we used to tow. Everyone wonders why we have that car, but it's amazing. That's where we are now. And the X3 M40i. So, do you have anything to add?
I think I lost our pen, but that's okay.
I have it.
Cool.
So, anything to add?
Exciting stuff.
Exciting. Fuck you. Alright guys, so a little update. You can see the STI is back on the lift. Mike and I had to order a few more parts as we want to make the Surge Tank look as good as possible. So we had to order a few more 90s, right?
Yeah, the dash 690s.
So anyway, the garage is put back and now we are working on the E36. So this will probably wrap up this video. I'm not really quite sure how long it is at this point, but our plan for right now is we are changing the alternator because we believe the alternator on this engine is kaput. As we got stranded in a parking lot last weekend when we went to the gym and someone had to jump us so we could get home. So Mike just replaced the battery in this car, so we know that's not it. So next best thing is we have 3 other alternators in the garage, so may as well start with that. So that's what we're doing now, and then I think we're gonna put his coilovers on.